Welcome back. We're talking about image and improving the image of apartment buildings and just improving the image or finding a good image of people who you want to work with. Andy Karuza and Andrew Vest joined us, co-founders of BrandBuddee. Well, welcome, guys. How are you, first of all?
Hey, we're good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good.
All right. Well, a lot of people, most people start online, I think, with searching for things, right? Mm-hmm. People, they search for companies. Maybe they want to check up on a person they may or may not want to work with. Talk a little bit about kind of what you guys do with BrandBuddee and how that all works.
Well, BrandBuddee is really an evolution of this service platform that we currently provide for a lot of customers, including corporate and small businesses. And BrandBuddee is really a product that everybody can use to help create organic word of mouth through social media. Really just get people talking about their brand, get them excited about it, and build better relationships with their customers.
So is it a product or a service?
BrandBuddee is actually a product.
Okay, and so how does it work? What does it do?
Well, basically, we have a marketing platform which brands will upload their marketing campaign, and we will aggregate top social influencers in the space of that marketing campaign. We put the two together. They sponsor whoever they want to sponsor. Then we reward the people that talk about them.
It's like getting rewarded for the things you like to talk about every day and tying you together with the brands that you best match with.
Yeah, we like saying we're putting the marketing dollars back in the hands of the consumers that are actually using your products.
Okay, so explain a little bit more. Let's say I'm a company. I'm going to launch, I don't know, an iPad. Maybe that's a little broad.
Well, that's too easy to
okay,
launch.
Give me what's a product? And I want to launch a new type of, I don't know, pen.
Pens might be a little bit harder. BrandBuddie's going to be pretty specific, more towards lifestyle brands, seasonal things people like to talk about. For instance, fashion. That's something that people are always interested in. There's always new fashion lines coming out. So you could be potentially someone that follows the trends for fashion. What we do is we could use our analytics tools to really identify who you are and help the brands connect with you. And it's really it's kind of a social network in of itself, to where brands could find the consumers that are most interested in their products, and consumers could find the brands that they like or that they potentially could be interested in. And what we do is we, through reciprocity, we encourage people to share cool stories about brands. It could be that new fashion line that's coming out.
You don't know me very well if you think I'm going to be talking about fashion lines, but that's okay. Look at me, baby.
Oh, it could be the new Seahawks outfit.
There we go. There we go.
We at least got to get you one of those new Seahawks jerseys.
Done. I will wait. I'll be ordering it very soon. Don't worry.
Basically, we like the people that are already talking with stories full of passion about certain products. Those are the people we search for, because you're going to talk about it on a day-to-day regardless, and we just want to reward you for your efforts.
So imagine you on the radio. That's one channel that you're communicating with people about things that you like, which was the Seahawks jerseys earlier. Imagine if that was social media instead of radio, and imagine if you got that jersey for free.
Done.
Every day.
So how did you guys get started in this? Because this seems kind of on the cusp of where social media is going.
Well, we co-own a company called The Agency. It's already a social media marketing consulting firm. So essentially, this is what we're doing on a day-to-day already. We're just creating a product that other companies can use, as well as us for our own companies that we're working with.
Yeah, it really started, it started years ago when I was doing events, and I found that the best way to get the word out was to have better relationships with the customers, was to get to know people. And what I found through the events is that there are certain people that really followed the work that I did, and they talked about it a lot. And those weren't the people that I really wanted to charge. Those were the people that I wanted to get to know and I wanted to connect with. And that's kind of the same thing you see in social media. And eventually that progressed more into corporate strategy, small business strategy, helping startup companies get launched. And eventually we started to kind of figure out that, hey, there's got to be a better way to do this instead of as a service, to where you're putting about X amount of hours to get X outcome. Whereas a product's a little bit more nonlinear, and it could take off and you could help more people without being everywhere at once.
So is it a technology product then? How does it work? It's a product, but what does it do?
Yeah, well, we built our own technologies. We've uploaded other people's APIs, like Clout, to kind of, gather information and algorithms to find those exact people that we're looking for. But there is some, manual aspect to what we do to it. But yeah, it's essentially a new technology that we've created.
And so this technology then searches for people who are talking about stuff in your field.
Well, it's more a social network that allows people to find each other. So if a brand has a new product launch coming out, they want to let their customers know about it and people that are already advocates for their brand, and we'll help them discover them once they're a part of BrandBuddee. And they want to go through the Brand Buddies to do that, because the Brand Buddies are the ones that are going to talk about it and share it, and they could use our tool to really measure what that word of mouth means. What are they getting out of it? What kind of traffic is there? Who are their best brand buddies? Who are their most loyal customers? And those are the people that they really want to pick out and say, hey, you guys are our top customers. We want to take care of you guys.
So these are people actually who are already talking about your brand.
Correct.
Yep.
Not
exactly.
finding the new people to talk about.
Yes, we want people that are already passionate about your brand. That, like I said, they're going to talk about you regardless, whether or not they're a brand buddy or not. They're going to do this. We want to have them talk to you about it through our system.
Okay, got it. And then that allows you to then know who's talking about what and then reward these people.
Exactly. From the brand.
And then the brand pays in whatever it may be. It could be a Matt Flynn jersey, Seahawks.
Yeah, exactly.
New.
So it's all
go.
products and services. So we're encouraging that they give out stuff that their customers and the people that are interested in that product actually they get that.
Sounds like I think you guys said it's almost like getting paid for PR.
In a way.
Yeah, in a way, right? I mean, if you love a certain product so much, imagine if that company just gave you a product because you talked about it, you had passion about it. You're going to talk about it that much more. You're building an advocate upon an advocate who's going to build advocates on themselves. So,
Go ahead.
Oh, we found compensating people with money was I feel in a way it's very it's not as ethical, and a lot of people are doing anything for money. But if you could actually reward people with stuff that they're actually interested in, it's gonna cut out the people that don't really care about your brand, that we're just talking about it just to talk about it. But we're really trying to connect you with real customers, real people that like your brand, and that passion's going to pass on to other people.
Keeps people from talking about women's shoes.
Yep, exactly.
For money.
exactly.
To give to your wife.
Yeah, right. Well, there you go. Maybe she can do that.
That might work for you. You know, Valentine's Day is coming up.
You know, there's a lot of
In about a year.
In about a year. I missed it. I'm single, ladies.
Yeah, there's just a lot of other brands out there and a lot of other companies doing similar things, but they're rewarding people with money, and it's drawing the wrong type of crowds. And we want to really differentiate ourselves from those and pay you with the products that you love already.
So what companies, I mean, how can a company, or what should they know about social media? Because I have been partly of the idea that it is very hard to monetize social media or understand what it's doing, right? I mean, you can try to sell you sell stuff on Facebook. I mean, it's tough to show a real value, right?
Yeah, I mean, I come in with a lot of companies. Some companies just want more fans and followers, but that doesn't always equate to business metrics. So a lot of companies, you really have to come and educate them on how to understand what the ROI on social media is. A lot of companies, corporate companies, really do have a good strategy for it. It's called a buy cycle. How do I get people into the buy cycle? How do I get them all the way through to the end, which is support, which is customer relationships, taking care of people, keeping happy customers coming back to you.
And inviting other customers.
Inviting other customers into it.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the very beginning. I mean, this is like the opening of a relationship more than the closing or the...
Well, we do a little bit of both on the agency and the consulting side. We'll do B2B, B2C, different aspects of kind of all around social media. We'll just show them the benefit of engaging with your customers, right? Of finding those people that are already talking about your brands and how to use them to make their voice a little bit louder.
Yeah, a lot of people are used to a very linear marketing approach, which is I pay for X amount of impressions and I know what I get, and it supposedly goes to these people. But social media can be very nonlinear. You have to put in a lot of effort, and you get a little bit of ROI from the beginning, but you're really going for the year, the 2 year, the 3 years down the line when you build happy customers and you build a community that actually shows more ROI over time. And a lot of companies can't really look past the short term to see what that long term is. It's like
networking, right?
It's like the guy at the networking event that walks around, he throws his business card in your face, he does his pitch, and then he walks on to the next guy. Are you necessarily going to call that guy? You're probably going to be more interested in the guy that has people surrounding him, talking to him, the guy that comes up and says, so what do you do? How can I help you?
Yeah.
That's the guy that you're going to remember.
Well, as people know me, I'm out all the time networking with everyone. That's why I love what we're doing here. And I always say the same, networking or social media is not instant gratification. You'll never have a direct feedback. Here you go. I did this, I got a job, or, I got business automatically. You need to build something. We try to create an ecosystem for you to either pass off to you or to run ourselves along the line.
And then ultimately that creates, it's almost like, I guess, it's like having a store that people know where it is and they're not always buying, but they know where they can go if they need it.
Exactly. So in marketing, they always say you want to be top of mind over the competitors. You always want people to think of your brand, to have a better relationship with their brand, to know that they're going to get a better deal over there, whatever it may be. When that time comes for that purchase decision, it might not be today, but it might be tomorrow. And if you have that impact on your customer, that's where you can see sales.
Yeah. So as a customer, what should people be looking for? Like, if as a customer, if you're thinking, well, I want to make sure my brand cares about me, right? In essence, what should a customer be looking for in a good Facebook
engagement, right? If someone's going to post comments on there, or you're going to post things, and they're going to reply to that and take the time out of their day, reply back to them, right? Have an actual conversation, know what they like, know what they're doing, and talk to them like a person and build that actual relationship with the customer. A lot of people have that, they'll post content, here you go, and they walk away.
Rule number one in anything really with dealing with people is listen. If you could listen, you could, that goes a long way just in itself.
Yep.
You honor people by listening. This is something we've talked about, especially with professionals, so many professionals and so across so many arenas. They go through this process of, I'm going to ask you one question. I'm going to let you finish your, sixth word. And then I'm going to jump in because I know exactly where you're going. I'm going to try to sell you stuff. It's incredible. But that listening piece, whether it's at the beginning of a sales cycle or the end, is such a key component.
Mm-hmm. And just listening and remembering and documenting all that as well. A lot of people just live on the tweet by tweet. That's not really a social media strategy. A social media strategy is benchmarking everything month by month, building better relationships with people, figuring out what all these analytics, what everything means, and then being able to tie that back into making a better strategy, forming better relationships with the customers, increasing sales, both in the short term and in the long term. What do we get in this quarter? How can we increase that next quarter? Let's run a promotion. Let's learn from what we did in the past, and let's implement best practices moving forward.
Because, you really, and I guess what you're saying is just using Twitter and Facebook doesn't mean you have a strategy.
Yeah, basically.
No, it's not.
Yeah, we hear that all the time. A company will approach us, but, we have a social media strategy. We have 500 likes. We've got 1,000 followers. And then we always say, well, what's next? Right? Well, what are you doing with that? And I don't know. We're reading their posts. We're liking their likes.
They always refer to, a lot of people refer to social media as like a cocktail party, and in a funny way it really is. So everybody's at the party now. Everybody's on Facebook. Hey, we're cool. We got a Facebook page. But those are the guys that are the wallflowers sitting on the wall. They're not talking to anybody. So at the rate the industry's moving, it's like having a drink, before you get comfortable talking to people. So right now the industry and all these companies are really just having a drink per year. And, when they get to 3 to 4, they're going to feel pretty confident, and they're going to go out there and actually start engaging with people.
So you guys are like business alcohol.
We get them lubed up. Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks so much for joining us. We do have to go to break. Stick around. We're gonna have you right back after the break. Thanks so much. It's Andy Karuza and Andrew Vest from BrandBuddee. As I said, when we come back, everybody's coming back. We're going to discuss a little bit more about image and what maybe clients and customers and just the general public should expect from the image from the professionals they're working with. We'll be right back after this break.